Hi beautiful souls, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something tender. Something powerful. Something that happens to every single one of us at least a few times in our lifetime. The ending of a really good season of your life, and the strange, uncertain, and awkward space that opens up when you don't yet know what your next season will be. Maybe you're going through this right now. Maybe you're wrapping up a job that was deeply fulfilling. Maybe a relationship that shaped your identity has come to its natural close. Maybe your kids are grown. Maybe you've moved cities. Maybe who you've been is dissolving, and who you're becoming hasn't fully arrived. You're standing at the doorway of a new beginning, but the door hasn't opened yet. And you're not where you used to be, but you're also not where you're going. You're in limbo. Today, we're going to talk about how to navigate that limbo with grace, courage, and trust, and how to gear yourself up for the next beautiful thing in your life even when you don't know what it is yet. We'll bring in teachings from Joe Dispenza, Wayne Dyer, Ram Dass, Oprah Winfrey, and Abraham Hicks. And we'll weave in miracle stories, real examples of people who stepped out of one life season and into another, beautifully, unexpectedly, and sometimes magically. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's go on this journey together. There's a unique ache that comes not from loss, but from completion. A lot of people talk about grieving losses. But fewer talk about grieving endings that were really good. When something ends because it was bad, you feel relieved. You feel ready. You feel like, yes, thank God that's over. But when something ends that was good, that's different. Maybe the job stretched you, fulfilled you, gave you confidence. Maybe the relationship opened your heart. Maybe the home you lived in made you feel safe in a way no place ever has. Maybe the community you were part of anchored you. That's when the final day hits harder. You look around and think, I don't want this to end. I don't want this season to be over. But here's the truth. A season doesn't end because something went wrong. Sometimes a season ends because you've outgrown it, long before you even realize you have. Wayne Dyer said, when you are inspired by something, when you're in alignment, you grow, and when you grow, life rearranges itself. Life rearranging itself doesn't always feel good. It can feel like confusion. It can feel like uncertainty. It can feel like the ground is shifting underneath you. But growth often looks like something ending before you think you're ready. Even when the ending was beautiful. Let's talk about the hardest part, letting go even when the season was good. We don't just cling because something was good. We cling because it made us feel like we had a place. We cling because it shaped our identity. We cling because it made sense. And now, things don't make sense. Abraham Hicks says, when you try to hold on to something that has already served its purpose, you introduce resistance into your energy field. Resistance is that tightness in the chest. That worry about the future. That mental loop that says, please don't change yet, I'm not ready. But seasons don't ask our permission to end. They shift naturally, just like nature. A tree doesn't negotiate with autumn. A bird doesn't negotiate with migration. The tide doesn't negotiate with the moon. And your soul doesn't negotiate with your comfort zone. It just says, we're done here, it's time. So now you're here. Not in the old life. Not yet in the new one. Just floating somewhere between identities. This is what Joe Dispenza calls the void. It's the space between the familiar past and the unpredictable future. Dr. Dispenza says, the unknown is the only place where new possibilities can show up. But the unknown is also the place where the mind panics. The mind likes predictability. It wants a plan. It wants to know what's next. And when it doesn't, you feel unsettled. Untethered. Unanchored. You wake up and think, who am I now? What's the point? What am I moving toward? This is limbo. This is the cocoon phase. This is the hallway between two rooms. Ram Dass would say, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. Limbo isn't punishment. It's the quieting. It's where you stop clinging long enough to start listening. Starting a new season often feels awkward. Like learning a new language. Like entering a room where you don't know anyone. Like waking up in a new city and thinking, this doesn't feel like home yet. When Oprah Winfrey talks about transitions, she always returns to this. Every ending has a whisper of what's next if you're willing to get still and listen. But here's the catch. The new beginning rarely feels as good as the old one, at first. Why? Because your nervous system hasn't adjusted yet. Your routines haven't formed. Your relationships haven't deepened. Your identity hasn't expanded into this new phase. What feels ordinary and unexciting in the beginning eventually becomes your new comfort. Your new joy. Your new home. But you have to give it time. This is where trust becomes part of your daily practice. When you don't know what's next, your job is not to figure it out. Your job is to prepare the inner space for what's coming. Don't rush to fill the void. Wayne Dyer said, the space between your thoughts is where God lives. The space between your life seasons is where potential lives. Instead of grasping for answers, practice being with the uncertainty. Reconnect with your spiritual foundation. This is the time to deepen your practice. Meditation. Prayer. Journaling. Walking. Breathwork. Reading spiritual texts. Listening to teachers who soothe your soul. Abraham Hicks, Ram Dass, Joe Dispenza, Wayne Dyer, they all teach one core truth. Life reorganizes around your vibration. So raise your vibration, not by pretending you're happy, but by caring for your inner world. Create future feelings, not future plans. Joe Dispenza teaches that your future is attracted by elevated emotion, not strategy. Instead of asking, what is my next chapter? Ask, how do I want to feel in my next chapter? Supported. Creative? Loved? Brave? Peaceful? Wildly alive? Feel it first. The form will follow. Give your body what it needs. Limbo is a nervous system heavy experience. Support your physical body. Move gently, ground yourself, get sunlight, hydrate, sleep deeply, eat nourishing foods, stretch often. A regulated body helps you hear your intuition. Let excitement be small. You don't need to feel fired up. You just need the slightest spark of curiosity, interest, willingness, openness. The new season doesn't always arrive like fireworks. Sometimes it begins like a whisper. Don't ignore the whisper. You can feel joy before the new chapter reveals itself. Abraham Hicks says, you don't wait for the manifestation to feel good. You feel good so the manifestation can come. Joy in the unknown is a spiritual superpower. Practice micro-gratitude. Don't look for life-changing reasons to be grateful. Look for small ones. Your coffee tastes comforting, you woke up in a warm bed, the sun hit the leaves just right, someone smiled at you, you remembered you're alive. Let wonder replace certainty. Instead of, I don't know what's next. This is scary. Try, I don't know what's next. That means anything is possible. Wonder is the bridge to joy. Celebrate the fact that you're evolving. Even if you don't know where it's leading. Growth is happening. Identity is shifting. Your future self is forming. That's joyful. See this moment as sacred. Ram Dass said, we're all just walking each other home, and part of the walk includes the unknown. If you allow yourself to see limbo as sacred instead of chaotic, joy naturally arises. Here are a few miracle stories that show what's possible when one season ends and another begins, even when the person had no idea what was coming. There was a woman who taught high school English for 20 years. She loved her students, loved her school, loved her community. But slowly, life began nudging her. She felt restless, disconnected, like she'd outgrown the classroom even though she still loved teaching. She retired early, with no plan. For a year, she floated. She gardened. She read. She panicked. She journaled. She doubted. She prayed. And one day, a friend asked her to guest speak at a retreat. That one talk turned into another. That turned into a podcast interview. That turned into a book deal. That turned into a national speaking career. At 52 years old, she stepped into a season she never could have imagined. Her old life had to dissolve for her true calling to emerge. A businessman lost everything. His company was his identity, his pride, his purpose. The industry shifted. Clients disappeared. Revenue collapsed. He closed the doors. For months, he felt like a failure. He sat in what Joe Dispenza would call the void. He meditated every day. He walked for hours. He let his nervous system unwind. During one of those walks, he realized, I want to help other people rebuild what they lost. He became a business coach specializing in crisis recovery. Within 3 years, he built a thriving global practice, more aligned than anything he had before. The new season was better than the old one, but he couldn't see that from inside the ending. A woman left a beautiful relationship. Supportive, kind, stable. Nothing was wrong, but her intuition whispered, you're meant to grow in a different direction. She resisted it for a year. She didn't want to hurt him. She didn't want to lose comfort. Finally, she honored the nudge. After the breakup, she felt empty. Lost. Guilty. She spent 18 months in limbo, meditating, traveling, healing. During a volunteer trip abroad, she met someone whose soul was unmistakably connected to hers. They built a life based on spiritual alignment, shared passion, and deep purpose. The ending wasn't a mistake. It was preparation. Oprah Winfrey always talks about whispers. She says life speaks to you quietly before it speaks loudly. An ending is often a whisper saying, something bigger is coming. Something more aligned. Something more you. Oprah would tell you, sit still, connect inward, trust your life, honor your inner voice, don't cling to a season that's complete, let the new season rise to meet you. She would remind you that your life is always guiding you toward your highest expression, even when it feels chaotic. She'd look you in the eyes and say, the next right step is always revealed, but only when you're ready to see it. Abraham Hicks would tell you, you're not in limbo. You're in the vibrational gap between what you've lived and what you desire. The old season launched new preferences, new desires, new clarity. And now the universe is rearranging itself to deliver them. Your only job? Stay in the receptive mode. Appreciate small things, soften resistance, stop telling the story of fear, let go of the old vibration, trust the unfolding, meditate, breathe, relax. They would say, the new season cannot come until you stop vibrating at the frequency of the old one. Joe Dispenza would explain it neurologically. Your old identity is dissolving. Your neural pathways are dismantling. Your old emotional signatures are fading. Your past-based personality is losing its grip. And you're creating space for a future that matches a new state of being. He'd remind you, you are breaking the habit of being yourself, and that requires uncertainty, the void, time, meditation, and emotional regulation. He'd tell you to practice the feelings of your future every day, even if your future is unclear. Because you don't attract a specific future. You attract a matching frequency. Ram Dass would smile gently and say, "Be here now, not in your old season. Not in your imagined one. Just here." He'd tell you that the self you're losing was never permanent. The self you're becoming has always been within you. And the path between the two is the divine unfolding of your soul. You are not stuck. You are transforming. Bless the season that's ending. Let yourself rest. Meditate daily. Move your body. Follow small impulses. Trust that you are being guided. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are not empty. You are between seasons. And this moment, this quiet, uncertain, not knowing moment, is the birthplace of the next beautiful chapter of your life. You don't have to figure anything out today. You don't have to rush. You don't have to force clarity. All you have to do is breathe. Be present. Let your old identity dissolve. And open your heart to what's coming. Because it is coming. The next season of your life will meet you when you're ready, and not a moment too soon. And it will be better than the one you're leaving. Even if you can't feel that yet. You are guided. You are supported. You are loved. And your new beginning is already on its way.